Hi there viewers, so it's time for another vlog, and unfortunately boys, it's not one for you. In today's vlog, I am going to be doing some more makeup-y type stuff. I'm going to be looking at Rimmel's new Glam Eyes HD range, which are their sort of palette eyeshadows. They come with 4 colours that you use all at once, all on your eye, because if you don't know, you really shouldn't use just one eyeshadow, because generally that's just breaking all rules. They do these eyeshadows in a whole range of colours to match, you know, different eye colours, because, you know, there's that whole thing about coordinating colours with your eyes. The one that I was most sceptical about and didn't think would work is this one here. It's called True Union Jag. Bright blue and bright pink together, I mean, it just seems a bit risky, but we always like to take a risk, and I tried it and I actually quite liked it, so I'm going to show you that one today. But before we do that, I'm going to need a full face of makeup. So cue the cheesy edit to have me go from no makeup to a full face of makeup. The way that I do face makeup is I will use a moussey foundation. I used to use a number 7 one, but they discontinued it because it's apparently not in fashion to use mousse foundations anymore. Don't tell me that, that'll just upset me. So I went off to Maybelline and got Dream Matte Mousse. I also tried a L'Oreal one. You know, I just bounce between, I'm not loyal to any specific one, but a mousse foundation, followed by a concealer, a brightening concealer, which I've started using recently on my eyes, and then I also put a bit of concealer over my scar, which I'm sure you can't see as much as you could do with my makeup off, and that's important to me because obviously I don't like the scar on my face left from the dog. You remember the dog bite? Oh, and a face powder. At the moment I just always use a transparent powder from Rimmel. They do a couple of like different ones, but they do transparent in every range. So that's face done, so now we're going to have to start using my Rimmel Glam Eyes eyeshadow. What I'm going to do is I'm literally going to follow the instructions on the back, because on the back you'll see, well, you won't be able to see it because it'll be terrible. Is it going to adjust? I don't know, but here it's got a little diagram of where exactly you put the certain colours on your eyes. For this you get your little thing, which I don't usually use, but for a highlighter I will use, because well, the highlight is the skinniest ones, it's the silver there, it's difficult to get in with a makeup brush, so I'm just going to use that. And then that's going to go, I'm going to have to look in the mirror because I can't look in the reflection of the camera now. I'm just going to blend it down a little bit, just smudge it down with my finger. Okay, so there we have the highlighter done. Next, you're supposed to do the predominant colour, the lid colour, which is the strong pink colour. Now for this I am going to use my own brush. Another thing I would say is to moisten your makeup brush slightly, again, so it'll make the colour more intense. Okay, so now I've got a very bright pink eyeshadow on it. You know, it's finding that balance between having interesting makeup and looking like a drag queen. Sometimes you just fall into one by accident. Next, we've got the crease colour, which you'll know is the bit where you can see the shadow just on my eye naturally, just there, the curve that goes over there, and the colour that we're using for that one is the, try and get this without spilling it everywhere, the lighter of the blues. You see this one here. For this one, I'm going to use my crease brush. That's one of the main problems with this, is that because they're all in, I mean, it looks very cool for them to be in this pattern, but sometimes they're a bit awkward to get to. Okay, so now I've got the initial sort of blue on the actual crease. What I want to do is I want to blend it out a little bit towards the brow, but also make it so there's not so much of a dramatic line between the two, and just, you know, blend them so they're, you know, coming together nicely. So now we've got the blue blended into the pink and blended up towards the brow a bit more, so it's just, you know, it's subtly there but still quite dramatic. I'm probably going to carry on fiddling and blending it all the way through. I'm such a, you know, when you're so close to something you just keep making little tiny changes, then you get to that point where you're like, oh, I've got way too much makeup on. Almost every day for me. Okay, so lastly we're going to be using the, what are they calling it? The outer corner, which I don't think I need to explain, is this here. So obviously that's how you get the sort of smoky, dramatic in the corner look, by putting a darker eyeshadow there. And this one is, I'm not sure if it's black with blue sparkles or if it is dark blue with blue sparkles, but either way it's got blue sparkles in it. Don't know if you'll be able to see it, probably not. But anyway, there it is. I'm going to start by putting this on with the applicator that comes with it, because it has a little point and on either end, and it's just a bit easier because, again, this is very small. Doesn't look, yeah, it's awkward to get into with a brush. Let me put my brush next to it. Even if I was to use my crease brush, it's very, you know, it's quite small to get the brush into, so I'm just going to use a little applicator, and I'm going to use the smaller side. Once again, the key is blending, blending, blending into the other colours, while also keeping it quite solid on the edges. So you'll notice at the moment I haven't quite blended it in yet, but you'll notice that one of this side is ever so slightly coming out at a point, and this one just goes down. Now, what I try and like to do is to bring it out so it has a bit of a point, because I like to do the flicks anyway, and it just elongates the eye a bit more. So, okay, so I'm just going to finish. So, sorry, my last memory card just filled up because I'm using my camera rather than my vlog camera. Pain in the ass. Anyway. Just blending it into the pink a bit more. Now I'm just taking the dark into the light blue with my finger and bringing it up to the crease without bringing it all the way up, trying to blend it into that white that I put on there earlier, so it's all sort of coming together as one. Another thing that I would do is, okay, so now you've got dark on top, and for me, having nothing underneath is a bit much. Also, a lot of people won't do their face makeup before they do eyeshadows, because the danger is that you'll get powder fall down onto your face. I can't put eyeshadow on without having a base on first, because it just won't come out as bright, and I can't do my foundation without just doing the whole lot. So what I do is I will either take a tissue, blow it off like embarrassingly, or I'll just get my face powder, try and make sure I've got all the excess off, and then just go around again and making sure that it also makes these bits a lot more precise. Let's get those up there. There we go. Done! So you can see that there's not as much pink as there was, and it's mainly blue now, but the pink is still there for a bit of character, if you will. But another thing that I like to do is, because, like I've just said, you've got all of this on top and nothing underneath, is I like to put a bit of a liner on. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use this blue and continue it down underneath, but I'm going to use my liner liner brush, again, let's make it a bit dampened so that it goes on more intensely. That was a bit gross. Excuse my eyeliner face. Now what I've just done there is I took the line up so it brings it out into this point, and then because this will be slightly more intense, I did it in the very, very corner, just starting a corner line there, and then brushed it out from that line to get the darkness right on the edge there. Not the band name, the intensity of the eyeshadow. So I'll just do it on the other side and show you again. Let me just get some more eyeliner on there, eyeshadow liner on there. So I bring it out to get the shape that I want, then do it on the bottom on the corner of the top of the eye there, and then just bring it out from the line like so. And then you can just bring it out and make it as pointy or as just curved as you like, really. Just depends on what your personal preference is. Now, arguably my eyes look a bit sunken and weird, but you've got to bear in mind that when you're doing all of this, mascara brings everything in together. Like, no matter how weird you think things might look, the mascara will hopefully bring it all in at the end. Hopefully. Okay, so couple of quick other things I'm going to do just to finish it off is I'm going to smudge the bottom line with a cotton bud just to make it a bit less sort of solid and make it a bit more blended into my face. Oh, thought I was going to put eyeshadow on my cheek then, that wouldn't have been good. So just quickly bring that round, make sure that's up there nicely. There we go. Smudge it all round, smudge it round, smudge it round. I quite like this. You might be sat there thinking, oh, she's on the edge of drag queen, she's tipped right over the edge. If you wanted a little more pink, like for example, I've got a lot less on this side than this side, I'm going to pick up the brush, and I haven't used it for anything else since I used it for that pink. So I can hopefully just put some more back on and keep it blended, keep it blended. Okay, so now we've got the full face of makeup. The only other thing that I would do that isn't necessarily suggested on here is putting a highlighter in the corners of my eyes. So if I just pop that there. I'm just quickly blending it. It just gives it a bit of something. It just gives it a bit of something in the corner there to highlight it out, but you've got to be careful because I've just blended mine with my blue fingers. It's just got a bit dodge. Okay, so now you've just got a bit of brighten in the centre, so it's a bit more awakened. Okay, so now you have the choice of either just putting eyeliner on, or just putting mascara on, or maybe putting a bit of eyeliner on, and I literally just want a tiny, tiny line to go from the corners and not to go much past the pink. So I'm going to see if I can just pop it on. Okay, so there we've just got a very simple line which just makes the whole look even more dramatic. It just gives it a bit more sort of, you know, just lines the eyes a bit more oomph, perhaps. Okay, so the other camera just also filled up its memory card, and so now I've had to go to the vlog camera, so I've just got to try and adjust and sort everything out. I've put on eyeliner on both eyes now. I don't even know where that one ran out, so I'm just somewhere with the eyeliner. I will show you the eyes now. Let's see them closed, and you can see them from dark, you know, to light to the centre there. As I said in my last vlog when I was reviewing the Glam, the Accelerator mascara, I used two types of mascara. One to be a thickening one and to get the bulk, and then one to lengthen them out like a thin plastic type brush one. At the moment I'm using Glam Eyes. Okay, now I'm just going to whack on the lash accelerator. I've used the Glam Eyes HD True Union Jack for my eyeshadows. As you can see, blending is probably the key. I would say is the absolute most important thing. I've then done a little bit of eyeliner on the top of both of the lids, not too far in so as not to close in my eyes. You'll notice that it doesn't go past my lash line. Where my lashes stop, it will stop and thin out. I've also put a bit of highlighter on the middle to open it up again, put some dark eyeshadow that I've used in the corners, carried it on down to make it a bit more dramatic, and I've got a fantastic evening look so I can go out down Matalan to buy my work clothes. So now I just need a couple of finishing touches like blusher, or a blusher bronzer combo, which, you know, also works quite well. And then finally to add a tiny bit of lip colour just to take away these concealer lips. And lips are done. I decided to only just go for sort of like a more subtle colour rather than a very dramatic lipstick, because I've done eyes, and you know there's the rule, only do lips or eyes, but and especially if it's the daytime. How to Look Glamorous Without Crossing the Drag Queen Line by Carrie Bellott. Or, I don't know. Maybe not, maybe you disagree. I think that it shows that it's important to not just look at a combination of eyeshadows and think, oh god, that's going to be awful. Just give it a go, because sometimes things can look better than you think, and I think it's important to not just stick with the same makeup routine and do like try different things. Anyway, thank you once again for tuning in and sticking with me. I'll probably do more makeup stuff, but I'll try and leave it a little while so that you boys don't completely hate me. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye viewers!